Get them faster, quicker, stronger, and carry this energy over into training. But we have to go watch the film. But obviously, just from the naked eye, it looked, we were very pleased with our energy that we had out there. The guys making plays, and I think the defense was playing cohesive. And we just got to keep that edge and keep it going as they begin training.
How much of a strategy this spring is seeing Miles at safety, Miles Brown at safety, knowing you're going to have AC Turner and those guys coming in the fall, getting the sample in the spring? Is that part of the strategy?
I mean, the strategy, as you've been covering us for a while now, we're always getting ready for Plan B, Plan C, Plan D, and the more positions that our DBs can know, we're going to ensure that when injuries do happen, that we have guys that we feel very comfortable and confident in, stepping right in and making plays for us and making sure we come out with a victory. So we're going to continue to move guys around, bouncing from corner to nickel to safety. I mean, all over the place, you'll see guys doing different stuff, and that's the way. And then when you see a certain guy starting in a game next fall in Game 6 or Game 7, you shouldn't be surprised because you saw him doing that in spring football and in training camp.
Did you talk to Byron Thursday night after the first round?
We text after the first round, and it was so eerily similar to 2 years ago when Kevin King was at the draft. And it was the same thing. Everyone's expecting him to go in the late teens, in the 20s, somewhere in the first round. And I just texted him. I said, Byron, this is exactly what happened to Kevin when you were at my house 2 years ago. And you watch, you're going to get drafted in the first 4 or 5 picks on day 2, and then you get to go show the world why you should have been a first rounder when you get to whatever team you land. And then sure enough, his name was announced as the first pick on the second day of the draft, just like Kevin King's name was announced on the first pick on the second day of the draft.
You've been through a lot of drafts. Sometimes you have to kind of talk these guys off the ledge a little bit when they're not going.
It's like you're just so excited for this opportunity. I think it's not necessarily talking them off the ledge. I mean, they're just excited. They want to know where they're going. They're excited for the moment, and then I know when it finally happens, it's a big relief. But now it's like, all right, now here you go. Now you got to go prove them right. The reason why they selected where they selected.
Jordan Miller, I think, to Atlanta.
I just heard over the intercom, probably like you guys. So excited for him.
Is that a good fit?
Yeah, it's a big time fit. I mean, if you like tall, fast, physical corners, that's a good fit. I'm so happy that he was selected, and his arrow is definitely pointing up as a football player. He had the devastating injury 2 years ago. Come off that injury during his senior year, finished really on a high note the last 3 games, and Atlanta's getting an excellent football player.
Jimmy, you might have mentioned this, but Isaiah Gilchrist played all 3 spots this spring. Had the interception nickel today. Is there a most natural spot for him? And how have you seen him kind of progress?
Yeah, no, he's always flashed for us. He's such a smart player. He's able to play all those positions that you just mentioned. And then today, I mean, he played physical. He played, made plays on the football. Was getting interceptions, scoring. And now I was just telling all these guys earlier, he needs to carry that over into the weight room here in the next few months, and then take that energy, that focus that he had today into training camp, and then keep getting the attention of us, and then he's going to get more reps when we get to game day.
Ariel Nagata, too, had a big day, and he's been inside, he's been outside, he's rushing the passer. Where do you think he fits, and what's the next step for him?
Yeah, he's had a big-time spring. I think he's one of the guys that really progressed from day 1 all the way to day 15. Been extremely impressed with him. I've seen him up in the offices watching way more film than he's ever watched, and it's all paying off now. I think he's going to be an electric pass rusher for us. Coach K's done an unbelievable job of just getting that next level out of him, which you guys saw today. But I also think he can move inside and be very productive for us. So I think Nagata sees what he can do, and I'm excited to watch him in a real game coming up.
You said the challenge for him, one of the challenges for him is to gain weight. And it might not be natural. Do you feel like he can get there as far as being an outside guy, or is he just more of a hybrid type, I guess?
Yeah, I think he's almost similar to Corey Littleton, who we had 4 years ago, who's now with the LA Rams. We were always bouncing back and forth between inside and outside. Is he going to get big enough? But you can't teach the speed that he has and the electricity that he has. So I think he's like in the 220, somewhere around there. Of course, we'd like to get a little bit more weight on him, but if he plays that fast, that physical like he did today, those old linemen aren't going to be asking what his weight is next year. They're going to be watching him blow him right by him. So I'm excited about it.
On the other side, what has Joe Tryon's spring been like?
Another guy. I think those two names that you mentioned right there, from day 1 to day 15, are two guys that have really improved and have really shown up. Our two focuses in the spring were getting more pressure on the quarterback and getting more turnovers, which we didn't do enough of last year. And I think those two guys really provided a spark for us.
Who won best hands?
Keith Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, it was dramatic. So last year, I don't know if you guys remember, it was very dramatic in our room. Last year, Miles Bryant, Elijah Molden, and Keith Taylor were all tied going into the spring game, and then Elijah Molden got an interception last year to keep Keith Taylor off the boat. And without the football, best hands in the room, Keith Taylor has never won it.
Yeah.
And you should have saw the smile on his face when Coach Pete blew the practice and everybody and the whole scrimmage was over. He was smiling ear to ear. So Keith Taylor won it. He had 6 interceptions. Kyler had 5. There was a huge controversy the other day. I'm not sure if you guys were at that, Brad. But Kyler had one that it looked like it hit the ground, but Coach Pete called his interception.
Deflected.
It was deflected. So it goes to the jury, which all the DBs are the jury. And they voted it down. It was incomplete. It was incomplete. Kyler was not happy about it. But he's a young. Oh yeah, no.
I thought that was a pick, and
It was not. Well, we had 3 views, and the jury voted it down. It was incomplete.
How did the jury vote? What was the final vote tally?
The final, it was about, so we had 12 guys in our room. I think it was 8-4. 8-4 convincingly that it was incomplete pass.
And Taylor was one of those guys that voted against, probably.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he gets the football on his desk. Nobody can touch it until the end of training camp. He's got the best hands in the room. And the next time I take all the guys out for steak and lobster on the lake, he's going to be one of the members on the boat.
It's like a fun thing, fun competitive thing, but he doesn't have an interception yet in his career.
That's
I know
right.
It's something that you've really challenged.
I have.
Is it maybe a little bit bigger for a guy like that who, that was such a priority for him?
For
It is
sure.
Such a priority for him.
It is. And, to his credit, he didn't come here having great hands, and he's done a lot of ball drills with, Coach Harris, myself, after practice on the jugs machine. If you go way back to his true freshman year against Rutgers when we were winning, I don't know if you guys remember, he was right in position, let the ball go over his head, and he's come a long way since those days. Made a lot of plays on the football last year in his starts and when he came in on 3rd down. And so for him to have the most interceptions of anybody in the room, now he's just got to carry that over into the season and make plays, which I'm very confident that he will.
Tough news on DJ having to step away. I mean, just how frustrating is that when it's just major injury after major injury for a guy?
Yeah, such a tough football player. He was just snake bitten. It seemed like every spring football, every training camp, every 3 games he was getting injured, and just unfortunate for the guy. That's just how it happens sometimes. This is a physical, fierce game that we play, and sometimes it doesn't roll right for certain guys.
Good.